Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another reaction video of the day. Baba Ann has spoke, and in a traditional African setup, a father is being considered as the head of the family. So, when the father speaks, that is the final of the discussion, and he says, "Take it down." Let us ask ourselves, why would a person say that, especially a father? That is the question I want us to think about that today, because psychologically, when somebody says they would rather lose the house than continue experiencing conflict, they are telling us something very important. They are telling us peace has become more valuable than the structure itself. That is a very deep statement. Ladies and gentlemen, many viewers focus on the physical building, but Baba Ann appears to be talking about something much bigger than that. He is talking about emotional freedom. He's talking about peace of mind. He's talking about ability to live without constant conflict. Watch this clip that Baba Ann was doing an interview with a fellow the man. Then I'll be translating it strategically, systematically, step by step, so that our audience can understand what Baba Ann was actually telling the subscribers. Stay tuned.
Maana hoja ya ile nyumba inaleta msongamano. Yeah.
So Baba Ann is saying that the only thing he can say, that house is the one that is bringing a lot of problems.
Mimi niliambia hao watu kuwa waache wapomoe hiyo nyumba ya.
He asked those people, yeah? So the family that is claiming that they built that house for them, they should come and demolish that house.
Oh. Watu waende naye. At least kuwe na amani.
They remove and go with it so as to be peace.
Yeah. At least ukae na amani katika wakati inapomolewa utaishi wapi? Utaishi kwa hata jikoni mle.
He goes ahead and says, when this house has been taken down, he'll be staying in the kitchen.
Okay. So because the kitchen was not built with subscribers, the house that was built with subscribers, they come and demolish it, they go with it. Yes. So that you can remain in peace. You will stay in the kitchen. Yeah. Or in any house there. Any all.
Mama.
Wait. He came to your home?
Yeah, at night.
Okay. Alone?
No, he came with the police.
Wow.
So my dad called me and he said, my daughter, right now you could not be seeing me. So I asked him why, Dad. The day the police came, they was wanting to shoot me.
Wow.
I told Dad, really? He said, yes, they was wanting to kill me because I told them this is my house. How do you come inside without my permission? So they wanted to shoot me. Yeah, so, yeah.
So that is Eliza and JT podcast. You have heard what Eliza said by herself. I'm not going to echo those words, but you have listened carefully. After watching that clip, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to discuss about the house that has become a burden, gratitude, obligation, peace, and the cost of online fame. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, I do reaction videos, especially to the videos that have been posted in public domain. That being that, for those who have not subscribed to this amazing YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to other individuals. Remember to turn on the notification bell so that any day, anytime I post any video, you people get updated watch my videos from the beginning up to the end without skipping those ads that you see there. I also have another YouTube channel that goes by the name Vibe with Lumumba. Let us go and subscribe to that YouTube channel. The last time I was checking the YouTube channel, it has 482 subscribers. Let us make it to 500 subscribers. Let us push it to 1,000 subscribers, because right now as I'm speaking, we have already reached the watching hours. It is only subscription that is remaining. So let us show love to both YouTube channels. Let us like my old videos. And today I want us to be having a very serious conversation, a mature conversation, a conversation that goes beyond YouTube drama, a conversation that goes beyond personalities, a conversation that goes beyond subscribers, views, money, and live stream. Today, I want us to discuss about something very deeper: the relationship between gratitude and obligation, the relationship between peace and property, the relationship between fame and community, and perhaps most importantly, the relationship between helping people and allowing them to remain free. And that is one of the things that I usually tell people, that just help somebody and you mind your own business, mind your own life. And I listened to the interview involving Baba Ann family. One statement stood out above everything else. That statement was simply, according to the interview, Baba Ann reportedly said, "Come and demolish the house." That word stayed in my mind. He himself said that he spoke with his family, he spoke with Census family, and told them the only thing that can make us have that what we call a peace of mind is taking down the house. Because when an elderly man reaches a point where he says, "Take away the house," we shall pause and think deeply. And let me say this: what Anne herself said, she echoed what the father said to her. A house is not just a building. A house represents dreams. A house represents security. A house represents achievement. A house represents dignity. So people work for decades hoping to own a decent house. Many families spend years saving money, and some never achieved. And yet, here we have a situation where a man is reportedly saying, if this house is a source of conflict, take it away. Why? What does that mean? And before I tell us what that means, let me say this, and I'm echoing what I've been telling us severally. I started by saying that that house was built by subscriber. Subscribers' money was used to build that house. So there is a bridge that was created between the subscribers and Baba Ann's family. And that is the mechanism that all charities pass through. And that's the reality. Anybody who is doing charity, there is a bridge between the audience themselves and the person who is supposed to be helped. I've come on camera severally and I said, in an African setup, in a Korean culture, we believe that mud houses serves us all the purpose. When Anne wrote that letter, Anne echoed what she meant. She wanted a decent house as what she's seeing from the rest of the people. Let me say this. Before that house, do you want to tell us that the family never had a shelter on top of them? They had shelter. We Africans, or we are the community, we take a mud house as our culture. That is our own tradition that remains within us. Walk through the villages, you will see a lot of mud house, even though the community is trying to transform their livelihood from a mud house to something which they can really substantiate and make a difference. So as this is what we call luxurious life. This is what nowadays a lot of people, they are dreaming of. The same house that now people are saying that you people are very poor, you sleep in mud houses. The same houses have nurtured dreams. It has nurtured doctors. It has nurtured a lot of people, engineers. We have got disciplined people from the same mud house. We are the community. We never just woke up one morning and found ourselves we have permanent houses. And that is the reality. So, I was saying this. Baba Anne himself said, if this house is the source of conflict, come and take away your house. Why? This means, and I want us to understand that statement, we have to stop looking at the physical structure and start looking at emotional burden attached to it. I know a lot of subscribers have commented. They have told us their own part of story that marks this is not what is supposed to happen. If I'm sleeping in the same house with no peace of mind, why should I continue sleeping in that house? Because sometimes the heaviest burden is not the building itself. Sometimes the burden is the meaning that people attach to the building. Sometimes the burden is the expectation. Sometimes the burden is the constant reminder. Sometimes the burden is feeling that a gift is no longer a gift, and somebody who is positioning himself as the owner of that house, it was only used as a stepping stone. Now, the entire family, including the dual purpose guy, is coming there and oppressing the same family. This is something that is not accepted. Even the law of Kenya says it clearly. The rightful owners of this house is Baba Anne's family, not any other family, because you hosted somebody who is being termed as a hater by some people. Now you want to tell us that we are supposed to inherit your enemies. Look at the young girl who was arrested. The young girl still needs life. She is in school. Now you have traumatized his brain. You know, she was speaking at a point that suggests a lot of frustration. She never expected this. She has been there as the frontliner, talking good about the same family that is victimizing them. Then this tells us a lot of things, and this is where the discussion is now becoming so important. Many people online have focused on who built what, who contributed what, because I've even seen another confused man speaking that is now speaking on the behalf of donors, saying that, I don't know if he's called who, MZ somebody, MZ diaspora. Is they busy now telling us the history about the way they contributed money. Who told you we need this history? This history we don't need. If you helped out of heart. Stop reminding us the way you sent money. Who told you we sleep outside our houses? Who told you that us sleeping in permanent house makes a difference? It doesn't make any difference, yeah? It doesn't. So, a lot of people are now discussing who helped whom, who deserved credit, who deserved recognition, but I think the deeper issue is different. The deeper issue is, can help become a source of pressure? That is the question, because genuinely, help should create freedom. Genuinely, help should create dignity. Genuinely, help should create peace. Genuinely, help should create independence. Mama Ann's family, they don't have peace, they don't have dignity, they don't have independence. So, if the same help creates endless conflict, then something has gone wrong somewhere. So, now before anybody misunderstands me, let me say this clearly. Gratitude matters. Appreciation matters a lot, and nobody should forget that people who help them. Nobody should ignore the kindness. Nobody should erase the history. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that gratitude and ownership are not the same thing. Helping somebody does not necessarily mean controlling them, because we have been seeing these people being controlled like robots. Supporting somebody does not necessarily means directing every aspect of their life. And this is where many conflict begins, because different people have different expectations. One side may believe they are simply reminding others of their contribution. I've seen there are people lamenting, giving us synopsis, giving us history, how this was done. I don't know, this is the record-breaking house of 10 days, and yet we have another house record-breaking of 7 days. Correlate between those two, and now you stop now opening that gullible mouth of us condemning this act. The only thing we are supposed to do is to stand up and say enough is enough. You know, funny thing about the same audience, funny thing about the same subscribers, when these families being victimized, they don't stand up and say enough is enough, I contributed to this house, stop victimizing this family. That is my expectation that I wanted. Maybe the same individual MZ who is claiming that he contributed with his friends to deliver that house should come and rebuke and say that I've seen this part of the story and this is what is supposed to be done. Not just seated there, now you are just speaking aimlessly without facts. When somebody is frustrated, when somebody feels pain, you don't know how much it costs when you get arrested. I myself, I've said severally, have been arrested before. I've been arrested in Kenya, have been arrested in Tanzania, and that is it. Not because I was arrested, I did something wrong, but it is because I knew what I wanted. So let us not take advantages about families. And One of the sides may feel those reminders have become pressure. And a lot of subscribers, especially those who are being perceived as negative minded, they're the ones who are seeing the light on this tunnel. So one side may see gratitude, the other side may see control. One side may see appreciation, the other side may see obligation. And that difference in perception can destroy relationship. Now, let us talk about something else, because we have a lot of things to discuss about the same issue. We need to discuss about Coco Mama. We need to discuss, because the last time I was checking, they are in Kisumu again. You know, this is all about confusing people. And I came on camera and said, policemen outsmarted the individual who sent them to arrest this individual. I came and said, content creators know these. I can do a video from my house and upload it. Then, the next moment, you can't tell me you're coming to look for me in my house. Maybe I'll be somewhere else. Today you see me in Kisumu, then I upload a video. The next time, you'll see me in a different town. So, the reason why I say the policemen outsmarted these individuals is this. Look at the plan. These people were after money. You know, the more coverage, the more mileage the Land Cruiser goes, the more money they get. Look at these. They started from the family there. They conducted an illegal arrest, of which people who were arrested, they were never taken to court. Is that justice? Is that the Kenya that we know? The answer is big enough. After that, they demanded 20,000 from the same family so as to release somebody who does not even have a charge against. They never had any charge against her, forcing her, demanding her to give them 20,000 Kenyan shillings. Is that the police service that we say service for the people? The answer is no. I know all the ranks of police. I know some of them are my friends. They are watching this. Yeah, this is what is happening in Nyabuhanse village. It is Ibania, because somebody is arrested in Nyabuhanse. Then the combination of Nyabuhanse and Ibania police station has become toxic. The world is watching the toxicity of these, the evil doing of these officers. Let us serve the people. Let us not exploit people. Let us not be manipulated by few individuals, a few family, who they are being believed they have money, and who they are being believed to be the highest bidder, is where now you get justice. And look again, the same officers, after conducting the arrest, it is alleged they went to Migori to do a search for the same individual who they wanted to arrest, knowingly very well that individual is not there. They went to Florence Hotel to conduct an illegal arrest. And I said on camera, this is the same scenario that happened some years ago, where the government of Kenya and Nigerian government, they had differences, because one of the celebrity was arrested illegally. And what happened? Businesses were tarnished. Economy was almost falling down. Just, you know, for those who know about maybe these eloquence, or how African nation, or how nation plus nation help each other, leave alone maybe making travels, yeah, already that is money generating, yeah. How many businesses are being controlled by Nigerian government in Kenya? How many business of Kenya is being controlled by government of Nigeria in Nigeria? A lot of them. That is why when we have been having presidents, Nigerian president coming to Kenya, Kenyan president going to Nigeria, because of rescuing the economy of Africa. Now, because the same police officers who are being used, this tarnishes the name of Kenya globally. Leave it alone that now we see this is a Nyabohanse thing or Isibania thing. This is tarnishing our good country Kenya. Let us not be perceived as Kenya being a toxic country without laws. Even some of the people are asking me, do Kenyans really have the law? I'm still talking about how somebody was outsmarted. At the end of the day, the individual had to pay money to the officers. Did they arrest the person who was supposed to be arrested? No. Have they tracked her down where she is? No. And that is the mandate of the DCI. It was supposed to do that. It does not even take time. It doesn't. So because you wanted to show the world you are very powerful, I can do this, I can try to arrest this individual. At the end of the day, who is the loser? You are the loser. I was to talk about the statement that Baba Ann will rather live in the kitchen. Think about that carefully. Many people will laugh at when Baba Ann was saying the same statement, but I think it reveals something very important. It reveals that peace has become more valuable than comfort. It reveals that emotional freedom has become more valuable than physical improvement. It reveals that sometimes people become so exhausted by conflict that they are now willing to sacrifice conveniences just to regain peace of mind. That is not a small thing. That is a serious thing, because peace of mind cannot be bought. Peace of mind cannot be donated. Peace of mind cannot be constructed using cement, because you're now telling, do you know I contributed cement? I don't know, I contributed sand. I contributed what? Peace of mind comes from relationships. Respect, trust, boundaries, and understanding. Without those things, even the biggest house can feel like prison. Look at the same individual who is claiming he is now living like a prison in his own villa. He can't even move around. He can't. Is being imprisoned in the same place that you are calling that you have the biggest house in the village. Now let us discuss about the road issue. Many people online are now focusing on the road, because there is a thing that I said about the trench. They access the argument, but I think the road at one hand. Sorry, somebody's calling me. So, sorry for that call, yeah? I think the road is symbolic. The road is bigger than the road itself. The road represents relationship. Roads connect people. Roads bring people together. Roads create access. So roads remove barriers. And when roads become the point of conflict, if it is usually means something deeper has already broken down. The reason why Baba Ann himself went and dug the trench is because before physical barriers appeared, emotional barriers appeared first. People stopped trusting each other. People are now reached a point after frustration and said, enough is enough. Because I own this road, I have a right to close it. But look at these. He went and dug a trench on the road. But, sometimes you become frustrated until instead of going and dig a road on in front of your house or in your land, you go and get yourself, you even dug the road at a place where actually the land that belongs to your enemies. And that is what happened. So, people stop listening, people start understanding, then eventually conflict now becomes visible. The road becomes symbolic of much larger dispute. And this is so many people are paying attention because this is no longer just a small dispute about access. It has become a dispute about belonging, a dispute about respect, a dispute about power. So, let us discuss about online fame. This is what a lot of people or lesson is the entire story. Social media fame changes everything. Years ago, village conflict stayed inside villages. Today, they become international views. A disagreement between neighbors can be discussed in America. And that is what we are now seeing. Nyabuhanse village is being watched globally. The whole globe is watching Nyabuhanse village. A family argument can be debated in Canada. A local conflict can become a content for the audience in Europe. That changes everything because ordinary village disagreements suddenly become globally conversation. Every action gets analyzed. Every statement gets interpreted. Every emotion gets amplified. And that creates the pressure, and a lot of pressure. Pressure on creators, pressure on families, pressure on friends, pressure on supporters. So, the community, the internet does not simply record conflict. It magnifies conflict. That is what makes situations like these to be different. Now imagine being part of a family caught in that spotlight. Every disagreement becomes content. This is what we do in Nyabuhanse. Any disagreement, we convert it into content. Even right now, there was a disagreement. I'm now converting it to content. Every argument becomes analysis. Every emotional reaction becomes evidence, and that can be exhausting, very exhausting. And think that is why viewers are expressing sympathy, not because they know every fact, not because they have chosen sides, but because they recognize emotional exhaustion when they see it. They see people who appear tired, people who appear frustrated, like Baba Ann's family. That family is tired. They are frustrated people. They appear overwhelmed. Their heart is heavy, and that naturally creates empathy. Empathy is important because empathy allows us to understand without necessarily agreeing. Empathy allows us to listen without immediately attacking. Empathy allows us to see the human behind the controversies, and that is something social media often forgets. Behind every what we call controversies is a real person, a real family, real emotion, real fear, real hope, and the reality never forget. Now, let us discuss about something else, the psychology of feeling indebted. This is one of the most powerful in human relationship. And most people comfortably receiving help, but very few people are comfortable feeling permanent indebted. That is the difference. Receiving help creates gratitude. Feeling permanent indebted creates pressure. And over that pressure become what we call emotional exhaustion. And That is why healthy support empowers people. Healthy support help people stand on their own. Healthy people support creates independence, because the ultimate goal of helping somebody should be freedom, not dependency. Freedom. This is the lesson for us all, whether we are helping friends, helping family, helping community. Through generosity creates freedom, not control. Now, let us move and speak about what Baba Ann himself told Eliza. Eliza claims Baba Ann said they almost unalive him. If that is true, justice need to be got to this family. What is more valuable? Is it house or peace? The road or relationships? Being right or reconciliation? Those are the difficult questions, but they are important questions, because conflict often continues when people become more focused on winning that healing, more focused on providing or proving a point than restoring trust. So many focus on the past than building the future. Perhaps that is the biggest lesson here. Healing requires humility. Healing requires reasoning. Healing requires understanding. Healing requires seeing that other person's pain, even when the disagreement is with them. So that is not weakness, that is maturity. And I reflect the entire situation. My biggest takeaway is simple. Everybody involved appears hurt in a way or another. Everybody feels misunderstood. Everybody feels justified. Everybody believes that this perspective requires recognition, and maybe that is why reconciliation feels very difficult. But if there is any hope of peace, it begins with recognition that nobody benefited when communities remain divided. Nobody. Let me say this. Peace is difficult. Understanding is difficult, but understanding is worth pursuing. So forgiveness is difficult, but forgiveness is worth pursuing. And let me say this. People still have to share communities. People still have to share building. People still have to build a relationship, and that is what we really required to do. So I'll be ending this video from that point, because I've spoke a lot of things, but Baba Ann simply says you can demolish your house, then I live in the kitchen. As long as I have a peace of mind, I have something that keeps me moving. That's the end of the conversation. Stay tuned. Goodbye.